Hi, my name is Zelmutersbot, and this is my cardboard loot box game. As part of the Game a Week tasks, where every week we challenge ourselves to make a new game, or if you're me, a game in about 3 days. In this case, one day. But this is the theme for this week was cardboard, and this time I made a game called Last Day at Amazon. I figured that was pretty funny, and I'm not dealing with any copyright issues because I'm not trying to sell this. This is more of just kind of a proof of concept, just to align with the theme, which, of course, like I said, was cardboard. So this is the main menu, pretty simple. You either choose to wrap it up, which just ends the game. It's also referenced to one of my other games. And then you choose unbox. You go in full screen for this. There we go. So right here you have your money that's slowly trickling down. You got your quit button, which you can assume what that does. You have crates, keys. You can open a crate, open a box, which you need a key to open a crate. You can open a box, drops a box right in front of you, random direction, and after about 5 seconds, boom, explodes. In this case, it was blue, which was an uncommon item. You have common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. These are all based off of percentages. Legendary, of course, being the rarest, as you may assume, and it's quite difficult to actually get. So I'm going to go and open a box so I open the shop here. So in the shop, you can buy crates, you can buy keys, you can speed up, which is the most useful out of all the options, and then you can sell all your things. So in this case, I'm going to sell one common and then one uncommon. And then you can also choose to sell all, but of course, because I have nothing, that's not going to do anything right now. So the goal is just to open up boxes and see what you get. This is, oh, that was really, really rare, actually. Got a rare item. There you go. Boom, $150. Your goal is to stay above, not break even, but to stay above $0. When you get to zero, the game is over and you lose. But you just do that by, you can also hit space to open boxes, but you just do that by opening boxes. And this was, I have always wanted to make a sort of case simulator game. Games like CSGO or like, I think it had it in TF2 as well. I never got super into those games, but I really loved the case opening part of it, just not the real money aspect. So I decided to kind of throw my hat in the ring with what I could do in a little simulator version of that. Of course, it's just proof of concept. If I were to go further with this, there'd be a whole wheel, and there'd be a lot more to it. There wouldn't just be one type of box, one type of crate. But just for the week, this is what I chose to do. I'm going to sell my common here. And then the game really picks up once you're able to speed up or once you open a crate. Crates give, I think I did anywhere from 5 to 25 items. It's the equivalent of you opening up a giant box of someone's packages as if you were Amazon. And of course, this is called Last Day at Amazon because this is illegal. Not really, just, in the game. But go and sell my common, sell my 2 uncommon there. There's our other common. Barely fighting the timer here. I got really lucky with getting the rare. I think if I didn't get that and I was talking, I would have ran out of money and lost. Yeah, this is general. This is the gameplay. Nothing too crazy. I want it to be a lot more interactive in the future, to keep it a little bit interesting, because I know the start of the game is really slow, as is really any other game. But just stuff to make it more interesting, of course. As fun as this is, I'm sure people don't want to stare at a brown box dropping in front of them over and over again, 300 times in a row. Of course, the game picks up after a bit. I want to add more high stakes as well, and of course, the background a little bit better. But that's all this was, is just me challenging myself to see if I could ever do something like that. Keep saving up until I get that key, and key is going to be $300. Of course, you don't want to buy it when you're at $300, because then you spend all your money at once, and then if you don't open a box in the next second, you lose everything, because you lose. So I'm just going to keep opening boxes up until I am able to afford a key, and I'll show you that. Of course, it is all luck-based, so it could be quickest game ever. You could get a legendary in your first try and then open up a crate and get a legendary in that. Statistically impossible, but you could technically get a legendary in every single box you open. I didn't do anything to limit the statistics in any direction, only just weighted towards certain things. Like, there you go. That was I think that was a 5% chance to get a rare. Then I can go ahead and sell all of my things, and I've got 436. Go and buy a key, and now I can open a crate. Open a crate. And it's just a big cardboard box. And what do we get? Boom. Actually got a legendary in that one. It's just really, really rare. It looks like I got a rare, a legendary, 7 uncommon, and 10 common, which is actually extremely rare to get a legendary. They're only a 1% chance in anything. I'm just going to open up a box here and sell all of that. And I've got 1485 there. So I'm going to go and speed up, buy key, buy crate. I'm going to go and buy one more of each. Open up a crate. I also made it so you can only open one box at a time because the way the variables are attached to certain objects. If more than one were to spawn, it would only attach the values to the latest one, so the boxes would never properly delete. And I did end up working that out, but I figured after working with both that this was better for the time being, up until I make changes to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I really like to not only speed it up, but also like open multiple at the exact same time, which would be pretty fun. But of course, that's a change for later. But this is essentially it. It's literally just fighting the time, trying to open as many things as possible, trying to stay in the positive money. If you get really unlucky, you obviously can fail. But luckily, once you get going, you really can't. Unless after you get lucky, you get super unlucky. You can see I'm slowly dipping into the negative return value because you can get a lot from a crate, but it's not guaranteed to get a legendary. I got super lucky the first time opening that up. And this one I only got 5 common, 1 uncommon, and 1 rare. But that's essentially it. Of course, if you do end up spending all your money, I want to show that here. I'll just wait the time out. Here, if I sell this and then I go... No, I increase my time. Why not? Of course, you can speed up as much as you want. Eventually, it gets to the point where the second the box hits the ground, it opens up immediately, and that's the fastest you can get. But other than that, it stays relatively slow-ish. Nothing too crazy. But that's pretty much it. I'm just going to hit the quit button rather than waiting out that timer. All right, thank you so much.